Welcome to Toffee TV. It is live at 5. It is Wednesday, the 8th of September, and it is absolutely roasting. Roasting outside. It's even hotter in here. There's no air in the studio. It's warm.
It's not on, is it? It's September now. We're nearing Christmas time. And it's fully, and
it's not. We're not near Christmas, are we? But it's the first week.
Do you know what's rubbish? And I suppose it's not for me because I've not got kids and I'm not in school anymore. But it rains all through August when you want to be out doing stuff, and then the kids go back to school and people so teachers are back in work and stuff, and it's dead nice and warm.
I'll be honest.
And August was rubbish.
It didn't really rain in August at all.
It did. It
didn't.
Wasn't.
I mean, it literally wasn't.
That heat wave we had where it was like 30 degrees was July.
Yeah, I went away for 9-10 days in August. It was boiling like this most days.
In Wales?
Yeah.
It wasn't here.
I mean, it's not far from here.
It was raining here. I don't remember.
I love that. There is that rewriting of history. I hear this every year from people.
August is always...
They turn around and go, I mean, we've had a rubbish summer. You're like, it's rained about twice.
August was a bit... It was not like 30 degrees days in August, was there?
It was warm.
Crap.
Yeah, but you're moaning how hot it is. So surely you just want 20-degree days. And it's literally been 20 degrees for about 3 months.
I like the winter, if I'm being honest.
So what are you moaning for?
I'm not.
You are?
I'm moaning because it's so hot.
You've literally just gone on about how rubbish it is that it's not 30 degrees in August, and now you're saying I'm moaning because it's hot. Let's move on. This isn't the right conversation.
I prefer it to be hot in August.
Gary Wood is in at number 1. Max Dagnall says, never seen it so hard to get Everton away tickets, even Villa away at Goldust. Obviously, it's great for the club and fans. You have any ideas how it can become any fairer? No, really. I think people who have gone up and down the country for years deserve to be rewarded. It's frustrating when you stop going and then for whatever reason, you might have kids or you might have a job where you can't go or you're working away and then you want to go. But, it's difficult. It's difficult because I used to go away with Everton everywhere. Like, not every single away game, but I used to go away regularly. And then just having children and different things of like weekends, it's such a big commitment when you've got kids to go and be at work out at the match all day and all that. And sometimes you look and go, I fancy that, and you can't get a ticket. But that's the way it is. People who've gone week in, week out deserve to go. And I don't know how you could make it a fairer way. You can't say to people who were at Brighton the other week, right, you're not going to the next Villa away or, Manchester United away or whatever, our next few away games, because we want to give everyone a chance to go, because they were going when it wasn't as difficult. I was working at Everton when I'd go to the away games and take a bunch of tickets back. I remember driving to Charlton years ago and having to take a bundle of tickets back in the away end because we hadn't sold them. And they were putting them on sale down there, and people on the day the match going, I'll go. And that used to start on like 11 away stubs and it come down, do you know what I mean? When I worked there up until 2006, most of our away games would go on general sale in the end. So it's gone harder and harder and harder and over the years. And then in the last 5, 6, 7 years, people who've gone up and down the country when we've been crap deserve to be... I don't know how you could find a fairer way to do it.
The credit system thing is the only way you get credits is the away games, and then the credits roll on to the next season. They only roll on for so many games, don't they? And it resets. So
it doesn't ever reset to none though.
So it's hard. I suppose it's hard if you wanted to start going away every weekend.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's impossible. But how? Like, you go to every away game, right? And then Everton decide to reset that credits, and then I want to start going to the away games, and I haven't been to an away game for 10 years, say, right? Because I've been in London and I've been here and I've been there, or I've been living in America or whatever. So I come back into the country and go, I actually want to start going to the away games now. And you've gone up and down the country for 10 years and haven't missed a game. Is it fair that your credits are then gone and then I've got the same chance of you of going? Or I'm a blue and just go, I actually don't want to go to away games. I quite fancy Villa away. I think I'll go there. And yet you were at Brighton and you're going to QPR and you've been up and down and we were getting bounced, 2 years ago away and you're going. How do you make it fair so that, do you know what I mean? It's like, I think it's so difficult.
But then from the other view,
from the other perspective, it's
you're
difficult.
Just like, well, I can't go just because he goes every week.
It's hard,
you know what I mean?
it's hard.
It's hard to please everybody, isn't it?
I go now, I really fancy Villa. I've been to Villa loads of times. I fancy Villa. Love to go to Villa and watch it. Can't get a ticket. What do you do? Yeah, I can stand and go, oh my God. But those people who go home and away and have done will go, yeah, but we were going when there wasn't that demand. I suppose we were still going.
It's good to have I suppose the positive you can get from it is we have got a good away sport.
I've got incredible away
Burnley haven't even took the...
No. Southampton didn't take the full away, did they? So
and then Huddersfield wouldn't even give us the full stand, would they?
No.
The full away end.
Our fans are amazing. Our away following is amazing. And I personally don't know, and I've worked in the ticket office and had to do different ways to try to balance it. I honestly don't know whether even this is hard. I was going to say I don't know whether they should keep like 200 tickets back and you go in a raffle for them to build your credits, but then it's difficult because some weeks we'll only get like 2,000 tickets, and then other games will get 3,000, and they'll sell out. But so out, it's just so difficult to do. And I honestly, Max, I don't have the answer. I really don't have the answer. I'm not one of these that, as a goer, Evertonians who've got loads of credits because they go home, right? The only thing I would say, me personally, the only thing I would change, right, is that if I buy a ticket for that, I can get a ticket for Aston Villa because I've gone home and away every game, right? And yet, all of a sudden, I can't make the Villa game because I'm in work or whatever. And you want to buy it off me, you should get the credit for that because you're going to the game. Now, I know people might go, yeah, but I can't go because of work. But there'll be Evertonians who buy every away ticket and go to half of them. And some of it will be because they can't be asked. And some of it will be because they're in work or whatever. But those people who are buying them for those games don't get the credits for them. And it might be Southampton away, and you drive down to Southampton, 5-hour drive on a Saturday night or a Sunday morning, and you don't get the credit for it. But you can go to the game, but you don't get the credit for it. So I think maybe whoever goes the game should get the credit. Do you know what I mean? And so if you're qualifying for that away ticket every week, you should maybe go, you have to go to at least half of the games.
They might come up with something that...
It's difficult.
I know it's nothing to do with going away, but they come up with stuff like the season ticket resale stuff, which is good. So if they can come up with something like that for away games... Well, they probably do,
but I still think you need to be given the credit, though, if you go. So I don't know, Max, is the answer. Have you got any ideas? I don't know or is anyone watching? I don't know a fairer way how they can do it, to be honest. I think people mightn't like it, but it seems quite fair to me the way they do it at the moment. It's frustrating if you can't get a ticket, but that's life, isn't it, I guess? You know, there isn't 30,000 away tickets, is there? So, Daniel Davidson says, loving the cop I fume on Twitter regarding Richarlison being allowed to play against Burnley. Drink it in, boys. I mean, is there anyone responding to the away credit thing? Well, in the comments, or anyone come up with
one from Sol said the only away tickets I can normally get is West Ham. Don't know if it's down to their big allocation or Athletic Stadium.
Yeah, maybe if you've got a bigger allocation. I know I used to go to Fulham every year, and I know that I had a lot of mates. So I'd be in, obviously we'd sell out, so I'd be in our end. But Fulham had like a neutral section, which is next to the away fans, behind the goal. So loads of Blues are just, when they go, they just buy them in there. So quite often it felt like we had the whole end, because there'd be loads of London-based Evertonians or loads of Evertonians who wanted to go and just buy them in there. West Ham, I think, done that neutral section in their stadium a few years ago. I don't know if it's still... It's the reason why there was loads of kickoffs early on, because fans are turning up all over the gaff there. I don't know whether that's still the same now, but I don't know how you how you do it.
I remember when we played... My dad might correct me on this. We beat Swansea at home 3-0, early 2010s, I think it was. I think we sat in the main stand. And there was like Cockneys everywhere, or West Brom fans or something. Like just there to watch the game. It was like, what the hell? And it was a sellout as well. My dad might, I don't know if they're Cockneys or West, like Brummies or something.
Yeah, because they sound exactly the same.
Well, I was only 10 years ago or something.
They weren't Scousers.
No, they weren't. No, they weren't Everton fans. Yeah. They were just there to watch a match.
But I guess if then, I mean, I don't know how that came about, but I guess sometimes you get
general
visits,
sales,
general sale, whoever can get them. You're also, I used to do a lot of tickets when I worked in the ticket office for fans coming over from like America or whatever, and they just wanted to watch a game. So
that's why sometimes
they'd have a clump of tickets.
They'd book the tickets from like another country, and then they'd ring up a match day, and so I can't. So that's why you sometimes see some. Yeah. Or you can go down on a match day after it's been sold out and declared sold out. You can still get a ticket on match day sometimes.
Yeah. No, it can be difficult, definitely. Stephen Kelly says, all right, lads, hope you're well. I think the only issue with the aways is that sometimes you get fans who only stay for half the game. Also, as well, if you get a ticket through supporters clubs, you sometimes don't get the credit. I think if you go the game, you should get the credit. That's my opinion, and I don't know if other people agree or disagree. I'm not sure. Jake says, yes, the boys going to work in a minute, so I'll catch up later. Do you think if Drenthe played in that semi-final instead of doing whatever he was doing and getting bollocked by Moyes ruining his entire career, we would have won the cup? I think if Drenthe played in the semi against Liverpool, I think we'd have had a much better chance of beating them. I don't know whether we'd have won it because it was Chelsea in the final and Chelsea were really good. Chelsea beat Liverpool 2-1, didn't he? I think... I don't know whether it was Drogba scored the winner or whatever, but I think we'd have beat Liverpool with Drenthe, yeah.
You think?
Well, think about the game. We bossed the first half. We were winning 1-0 at half time, right? And we had Magai Gay playing, right?
Is that 2012?
And then in the second half, obviously Distan.
That was the Distan pass
with the back pass, and then Suarez equalised.
Coleman.
But then the game kind of petered out for a bit. And we had no threat going forward.
Andy Cowell should have scored when he headed in the 6-yard box. And
that was still at 1-0. That was right after half time. He headed it wide. He should have scored. But then we could have. Baines had the free kick right on the edge of the box in the first half to make it 2-0.
I was in year 6 then, primary school.
Yeah.
Remember going in and having a barney with all the Reds in primary because they're all calling Distan crap.
It was my birthday.
I was only 11.
We had a party the night before. Yeah. But it was my 40th the night before, so I got in from the party at 3:30 and I got picked up at 4:05 because it was a 12:30 kickoff. So my mate picked me up at 4:05, so I literally got into bed for 20 minutes, got up, got a shower, and he picked me up at 4:05, and we went and picked up 2 others up, drove to his in Macclesfield to pick his dad up, had some brekkie, and then drove down to Wembley. And I was convinced we were going to win. It really was, because Liverpool were crap at that time, really. And we went 1-0 up, and the celebration was incredible. I remember when we scored, Jelavic scored screaming and dancing. I had to sit down. I was dizzy. I was like, oh my God, I feel lightheaded because it was just because I had no sleep and everything. And at half time, winning 1-0, thinking, we've got another one just after half time, it's over. And obviously, when Carroll scored, just...
Imagine the abuse Coleman would have got on Twitter if it was now.
Oh God, it'd have
been horrendous.
Well, I think, to be honest, he come off Twitter because he did get abuse.
Really?
So, yeah. Well, we've had a chance. Paul Lipsy says, Dom needs a song, boys. Any ideas? Best I can come up is the Big Ron. Yeah, I'd have just done that. You know, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. That, to me, is dead straightforward. And you can easily see the Gladys Street or away fans singing that to him. And it's about him, and he knows it's about him. I know it, you know, I've heard the other one, people going, Calvert-Lewin. But we've had Andy Johnson with that and all that. So I'd do the Dom one, the Rom song, basically. And obviously it was Super Kev as well, wasn't it? So that's who I'd do, because I think it's dead straightforward. And it's everyone would know it then.
I've seen some horrific ones. I've seen some decent.
Seen some good ones, but some of them a little bit too intricate for match going Evertonians to sing.
Like a ballad.
So I just think something dead simple. You know, but I think he definitely needs one. You know, we sing it. I mean, we love Richarlison, don't we? But we sing a boss one to Richarlison, and the whole ground sings it, and he knows it's him, and he loves it. But Dom needs the same. Dom scores our goals. He's at number 9. He should have a great song about him, you know. And if it is what it is, just do the Romelu Lukaku one for him. Just do it.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah.
That's good.
Just
though.
do
I like that one.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Just do that. Dead simple.
Whatever.
Jake Ablett says, also if we played Darren Gibson over Phil Neville against Wigan and Stones over Alcaraz and Kiev, so many what ifs if Baines takes the penalty against United in the semi. Yeah, it is life of an Evertonian, Jake. We do have that. We've had so many sliding doors moments.
You're on about 3-0 Wigan at home.
Yeah.
Oh, that was abysmal, wasn't it?
Shocking.
That was Neville's last season. That was like when he was getting out, like he was retiring, wasn't it?
To be fair though, to be fair to him, right? Well, not to be fair.
Did he play right back or centre mid?
Centre mid. But everybody puts that game on Phil Neville, and it was a terrible back pass to Callum McManaman. Well, cross-field ball, and McManaman scored, but we were all over the gaff anyway.
We were awful anyway.
We conceded the goal off a corner. Jordi Gomez scored 30 seconds after McManaman scored. Bend and one in. You know, it was just nonsense.
It was justified when they went on and beat City.
Well, a week later, we went and beat Man City.
What we could have beat City. Yeah, we beat them 2-0, didn't we?
We beat City the week after Wigan.
Osman smash. We did that a lot though. We'd get beat and be embarrassed, and then we'd come out the next week and bounce back. The semi-final, after we got beaten in the semi-final against Liverpool, that was the 4-4 United game the week after, wasn't it? We come back, what?
3-1
three times, yeah. We went in front first.
Well, we were winning. We elevated his head,
yeah. 3 times, yeah.
Richard Folk says, evening gents, you think Gary Speed was one of the most complete midfielders we've ever had? I loved him. He thought he had it all. Was up there with Dunk leaving when he left, but being young and not knowing the facts, I had a lot of anger towards him at the time. Gary Speed was his birthday today, isn't he? Would have been 52.
Gone too soon.
Without a shadow, to be an Everton manager.
Do you think?
Yeah, 100%. He was an absolutely lovely fella. Fantastic trainer. Brilliant Evertonian. Loved Everton, even when he was playing for Leeds, even Newcastle, even Bolton. Absolutely loved Everton. Never left them. And obviously at the time he had his disagreements with a couple of things at the club, and it resulted in him leaving, which was devastating really, because he was our captain and he was always had a goal in him from midfield. And when we got him and
rocket off the left foot,
we had him and Dunk. Oh my God, we played Newcastle at home on his debut. Him and Dunk were unplayable. We beat them 2-0. They had Shearer and that. We were incredible. But it didn't quite work out. Well, it didn't work out. And the biggest thing about it is he wrote a letter, actually. Whether I should really say on this. Yeah. But he wanted to come back, basically, and it never happened. And I think it'd have been great to get him back. But it didn't happen, and he was a fantastic footballer, and obviously had a very, very sad, well, horrific end, isn't it? He should be here. He should be with us. He would be our manager, I believe, right now. He had doing a great job with Wales. A lot of the good Wales did come from Gary Speed. He was one of those people that commanded respect just because of his work ethic. He was a quiet fella, but just an example that people can suffer through mental health and no one's got a clue about it.
I remember, when did he die? Was it 2015, 16?
Yeah, something like that.
When he died, my dad told me about him. Obviously, being a 14, 15-year-old lad, didn't really know where knew the name, but I couldn't say like I was who it was. But he's one of those players that, like at my age now, I just wish that I was here to see them.
No, he was an incredible footballer. 2011 he died.
2011?
That can't be right.
No, it was
November 2011. Jesus, 10 years.
So I didn't even.
Crikey.
My dad said, Gary. I remember me sat in the living room. Really, 2011.
God, I thought it was like 2015.
I didn't know I was that young, but remember.
I can remember where it was.
I was in the living room and it was on Granada News, and my dad told me, and I was just like, play for Everton.
I was going to say, yeah, wasn't when we were doing Toffee TV. Maybe doing this in 2014. Yeah, it was. I remember I was in work. It was a Sunday actually, and I was working in social services, and I had to go and do a house call on the Sunday, just a home visit. And I was driving on the way to doing the thing, and it come on the radio, and I just had to pull over. I was in tears for a bit. It was awful because of the way it was, and such a shock. But what a, I want to say waste, because it's just a waste of what a great fella who still had a lot of his life to live, you know, and it's such a sad thing, isn't it, that we haven't seen him. You know, he'd have been 42 when he took his own life. Terrible. But yeah, nearly bad, nearly sad. But great footballer. Paddy Ditchfield said, out of curiosity, question for Ned, considering his best female singers yesterday he's ever heard of. Has he ever heard of Tracy Chapman?
Tracy Chapman, yeah.
Joni Mitchell.
Joni Mitchell, yeah.
Madonna,
Tina
yes. Turner. Aretha
yes.
Franklin.
Aretha Franklin,
Dionne
one
Warwick.
of the greats. Who?
Dionne Warwick.
Dionne Warwick. That doesn't ring a bell.
You must know Dionne Warwick.
What did she sing?
Heartbreaker. I mean, Bee Gees wrote it. Why do you have to be a heartbreaker? She was related to Whitney Houston. Was she Whitney Houston's auntie? I think it might have been.
Never heard
incredible
of her.
singer, Dionne Warwick. All of them are incredible singers.
Stevie Nicks' favourite female voice for me. Or Christine McVie. They were both in Fleetwood
Just because
Mac.
of Fleetwood Mac, though.
Yeah, but like you know, Stevie Nicks, even on her own, was really Edge of 17, one of the greats. And that was just there on her own.
Okay. Derek Holton, hello Deg, says hello guys and hello Gary. I'm a member of the ESSA, Southport Area Supporters Club. We always went to away games as a club. Full coach one season, we just couldn't get away tickets. It seems certain supporters group can buy batches of tickets, then sell them within their own clubs. This is wrong. Obviously, some supporters clubs have contracts. I don't know, Dex. I honestly don't know, and I'm not wading in on it because I don't know the information. So if I was then turning around and saying this is wrong and that without knowing the information, I haven't got a clue. Someone just asked me a fairer way, and I think the system to me seems quite fair, but the only way I would possibly alter it is if you go to you can go the game, and because I can't, and you take my ticket, you should get the credit for it. So that at some stage you've built up some credits, and if an away game goes down to like 3 credits, say, and you've been to 3 away games at some stage, you can apply for that ticket. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, you're never really getting it, are you? You're never getting one, because there's 2,500 Evertonians go to or buy away tickets for every game. How would the rest of just on season tickets, there's 30,000 other tickets there that would qualify as a season ticket holder. So you're never ever getting one. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one, and people who have got more experience now than me in terms of going and how they do the tickets, I don't know. The minute I left the ticket office, I kind of stepped away from caring about how they did it, because I'd had enough of it. Steve Kelly says that semi-final was horrific, Baz. They were crap as well. Pienaar being cup tie was a huge miss. Yeah, he was massive miss. It also annoys me that Neville gets the blame. Moyes picked the team. Roy Keane said Gary Speed was the best British midfielder he ever played against. Speed was incredible. Mike Barrett says Delamere Bear in the chat had a good idea of making an interviews playlist on the tube. Sort it out, Ned. There is an interviews playlist.
Well, like players interviews, there's a players
interviews playlist. There is one there. We'll be adding to that as well.
Not done many since I've been here, so I've had not much to add. Matt Jackson was after I started, wasn't it? And then obviously
we've had quite a few lately. You haven't done any lately, but we're stepping them back up. Some songs from AJ. And the women tug their hair like they're trying to prove it won't fall out. And all the men are gargoyles, dipped long in Irish stout. Yeah, the whole place is pickled. The peoples are pickles for sure, and no one knows if they've done one here than they ever would do. Isn't it Rotterdam?
Oh yeah.
This could
people's
be
Rotterdam.
Oh, anyway. Beautiful
Liverpool
South.
Sure. Is that pickle?
Liverpool,
I didn't know it until that pickle line.
My love is taking a tumble, oh, but I'm still standing. That's wet, wet, wet. My love is taking a tumble. You don't know wet, 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 do you?
No.
And I'm still
I didn't know the one
standing.
yesterday.
That's Sweet Little Mystery by Wet, Wet, Wet. Number 3.
Sweet Little Mystery.
No.
That one.
Just that sweet little mystery
Oh,
that
I
makes
think
me smile.
he's given us that one before, I think.
That's Wet, Wet, Wet. Number 3, been on the path of life for so long. That's Never Forget by Take That. Feel I've walked 1,000 miles. 4, everybody loves the things you do, from the way you talk to the way you move. Everybody here is watching you because you feel like home. You're like a dream come true. I know that.
One. There's the everybody here is watching you line.
Mine's from the way you talk to the way you move. Okay, I know that one, and it'll annoy me when you give me the answer. 5, all my memories gather round here, mine is lady.
All my memories gather round here, mine is lady, strangers to blue water, country road, take me home to the...
Okay. And
Na.
Here's another 2 for Ned after yesterday's shambles again. Yeah, you had him here yesterday.
What was the
one all
yesterday?
The way from Waco to WeHo with a
all
rabbit
the way to
on it.
Waco to WeHo with a rabbit on the chain. Drove a little slick car to Timber. Wasted Moments off the Walls album, 2016.
Okay, and number 2, Take Your Silver
2018,
Spoon,
actually.
Dig Your Grave, Heartless Challenge, Pick Your Path, and I'll Pray.
Take your silver. Say it again.
Take your silver spoon, dig your grave, heartless challenge, pick your path, and I'll pray. You don't know it, do you?
No, you'll have to give me. If you give me the answer,
I don't know
might
it.
have to sing it. Yeah.
Elite Eyes Dar says it. My opinion on the vaccine. This is from yesterday on Patreon when we were discussing it. I see the vaccine like a bulletproof vest. It's there to stop the bleed. Sometimes the force and pressure will still cause internal damage or other injury. Sometimes the round avoids the protection and gets you. I'd still rather be wearing one while under fire. Good analogy. Good analogy. Yeah. You're still smarting because you don't know that second one that AJ threw on, aren't you?
Yeah. Stuart said, did you watch Meatball Molly's performance on Saturday?
No.
Saw the highlights and she was just walking into punches and seconding him. Just like, yeah, go on then. So yeah, she did well.
She's obviously good. I don't
Got the 50 Gs. I'm not interested in MMA and UFC and all that stuff.
Doesn't interest me in the slightest.
Even
but I know, I'm glad
boxing
she
now,
won.
rubbish.
She's a good Evertonian, Molly, and I'm glad she won for her and all that, but it's not my bag at all. Like, Daryl King says it, Dionne Warwick did Walk On By as well. Walk on by. You know that one.
Walk On By.
Just check it out.
By cast.
Check it out. Dionne Warwick, just check it out. Jake Ablett says, do you think the barrier between footballers and fans will ever be broken down? You guys should be able to interview an Alex Iwobi or Calvert-Lewin, for example, if you contracted their representatives, but I'm guessing you'd be told no by the club, that it's not. Yeah, I don't know whether that'll ever be broken. It seems like...
They've become Hollywood stars now, aren't they? They're untouchable.
But it's not even that. It's like Rio Ferdinand had Donny van der Beek on the other day with Stephen Housen.
Is he his agent?
I don't know whether he's in their stable, but he's had him. He has Mason Holgate on the week before. Ben Godfrey's been on it. They've had all sorts just because it's Rio. So they are gone, and they talk to them for 45 minutes, and they sometimes get them to say, like, they're honest, they're good. Don't get me wrong, it's good. But it just makes you laugh that the club will facilitate something like that. Like Godfrey and Holgate were allowed to go on a Manchester United podcast, really, and yet they're not allowed really to speak to us or, you know, other outlets who want to do stuff.
And they know we do
weird.
good stuff, otherwise they wouldn't ask us to do stuff with. Like we did stuff with the women's the other week, so they know there's benefits to be there and the stuff we did yesterday. So
go on. I told you when I have a bite, fill the space.
Oh yeah. I was just enjoying the ASMR eating. David Sullivan says, "You'll never guess these lyrics. Walking across the living room, I turn the television off. Sitting beside you, I look into your eyes." No idea.
No clue.
Yeah,
don't forget, give the video give the stream a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. Thank you very much.
Andrew John Barrow says, has Hammers got to self-isolate? So Ibiza are currently on the amber list, which means if you're double jabbed, you don't have to isolate. I imagine James will be double jabbed, but I don't know. That's just my opinion because I think the club will be pushing them to get vaccinated, especially if they're going abroad. If they're going to let them go on holiday, then I imagine they'd make sure they're double jabbed, but I don't know. So, but he's training, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know his vaccination status. I've seen that report, but I've also seen another one saying he doesn't have to.
I'll get on to him. I know him personally.
There you go. Next.
Let's scroll up a bit. Delamere says Ben Godfrey catches pigeons is the best shout ever.
Joe, wasn't it?
If you can catch pigeons, you can catch lightning.
Rocky.
That's what they say, don't they?
Yeah, fair play.
That's like chickens.
It's a good one.
Blue Nose says, love the Toffee TV products. How about an Irish player's mug, just like the number 9? One, Kilban, Sheedy, Coleman, Carsley, to name 4.
Interesting.
Carsley's a brummie, and he'd have played for
Ireland.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Good idea. Maybe they can use the, maybe get the old Carlo ones. It's that red. I know it's burnt orange.
Well, yeah, we could just design some Irish ones, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Go on.
Ian Clark, says Bessie Smith, best singer ever. Out.
There you go.
Jared says, Queen, I Want to Break Free, or Radio Gaga. He must really like those songs. Radio Gaga was one of his last songs, wasn't it? Freddie Mercury.
No.
Was it not?
No.
Which is the song where at the
Radio
end?
Gaga was 83, wasn't it, or something? It was early.
Oh yeah, because he sung
No,
it
in
at
fact, it was earlier than that.
Which
one are you thinking? One of his last song was Thingy. Those Days of Our Lives was his last song.
Yeah.
Those were the
At the end, he
days
says fried chicken, doesn't he? Because it's like his
not in
favourite
that one.
food.
That was in Thingy. Give me fried chicken. That was in Bicycle. I want to ride your... Or Fat Bottom Girl. No, I want to ride your bicycle.
It might have been Fat Bottom Girl.
No,
Ride your bicycle.
No, I want to ride your bike. My bicycle.
My dad told me that he says fried chicken.
He
at the
does
end of the
say
song
fried chicken.
because it was his
Give me fried
food.
chicken. That's what he says at the end of the song, but that's not in.
Oh.
Days of Our Lives was the last song he sang before he died.
RM says Speed used to stand in the Gladys Street as a kid.
Probably did.
Was he a blue as a young lad?
Gary? Yeah.
I knew he was a blue as a player. And
No, he was a
post, but
he was a huge Evertonian. His dad's a big Evertonian.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, they were massive blues. Steve used to work with his dad in Shell over the water in Ellesmere Port, and his dad would be like, yeah, he's a huge Evertonian. This is when he's playing for Leeds, and he was brilliant, by the way. And Roger, his dad, used to work with Steve, and he was like, he wanted to join Everton. I used to be like, oh my God, imagine if we could get him, he's brilliant. And then Everton went for him, and that's why he left Leeds and straight here. He was devastated to leave Everton. Didn't just come to Everton and go, oh, I'm an Evertonian. No, he was a boyhood Evertonian.
Did he grow up in Wales?
Boyhood Evertonian. Went to Leeds picked him up, and he was fantastic. Got in there, I was in their team that won the league, in 92. Fantastic footballer.
Steve P96 says, what's your favourite 80s films? He says, mine's The Lost Boys. I'd have to say The Lost Boys as well, probably.
Top Gun is my favourite.
Top Gun.
Yeah. No better.
Probably the best soundtrack from the 80s, isn't it?
No better film than Top Gun.
Dung, 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 watching every motion. 80s films. The Lost Boys. And then probably
Cocktail.
Star Wars trilogy, or A New Hope was 70.
Star Wars trilogy. No, mate.
But Return of the Jedi, 84.
77.
That was A New Hope, but Return of the Jedi was 83, I think. So I'd have to say, and that's probably my favourite Star Wars
That's the third
film.
one.
Yeah. Maybe that one.
Some belter films. In the
80s is probably the...
Top Gun.
Everything now is a remake of the 80s.
Cocktail, brilliant. Weird Science, which was on the other week, and we were treating. That was brilliant. Loads. Porky's was hilarious when I was a kid, and you're looking for like a blimp of naked women when you're like 11 and 12. They were out. They were funny.
There's just loads of like classics that have been
some
remade.
classic horror films as well. Amityville,
Predator, Alien, Terminator films are 80s. Yeah, all the horrors. Was The Exorcist 80s
Halloween,
or was that 70s? 70, wasn't it? Yeah.
I think, wasn't it? Something like that. Early 70s, yeah. Some belter 80s films. 80s the best. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Breakfast Club.
Was that the 80s, Ferris Bueller? I thought that was the 90s.
86,
I thought
wasn't
it?
it?
90s.
I might be wrong. I thought that was about. Hang on, I'll have a look because I'm pretty sure.
It was Mathew,
86.
Matthew Broderick, yeah.
1986 on the nose.
Yeah.
Belter.
Smashed it.
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future
85.
films.
Brilliant.
Wow.
Just a great era of
them off.
pictures.
Mm.
Tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. Where are we here? Lee Star says, where is it? The studio? No, it's in Hunts Cross, mate, the studio. Keith Powell says, doesn't Rio manage your mentor Mason? He's part of their management agency, yeah. Yeah. But even so, it's still, when you look at what's allowed and what isn't, that technically wouldn't be allowed, but what can they say? Jay Fearon says, hearing you describe the reaction when Jelavic scored at Wembley really took me back. It felt like all attention was released in half a second, just electric. I don't think I've ever felt as sick as I did at full time. May have taken it out on one of the red seats.
It was
so weird walking out of Wembley that day and they beat us because they didn't deserve it. And it was just like, I remember just being in the car driving home and just kind of just being resigned to like, yeah, typical Everton kind of thing, which you should never really be like, but just really, really grim because we'd seen it. But yeah, what can you do? What can you do?
At least on the other hand, Jelavic that season was unbelievable, wasn't he?
Jelavic,
I was like
half a season, he was unbelievable.
I was only 11, 12. So like being a young Toffee and having like, he was like for a season he was like a hero, wasn't he? It's like, oh, so good. He was just scoring every game, wasn't he? When he first signed, couldn't stop scoring. Then he slowed down. The next season he was going like months at a time not scoring, didn't he? And then obviously he went like from October to March when he played City without scoring, and it was like, oh, that was a big decline. Then I remember he went to Hull, didn't he? And I think did he score a hat-trick or a brace on his like first game for Hull or something? I remember seeing him score for Hull and I was like, and we had a Kone. And then we signed Lukaku anyway, so.
I think the thing, we ruined Jelavic because when he was doing well, Cahill was playing with him. And then when Fellaini played up front with him, just behind him, Cahill flicked everything on and made movements so Jelavic could get in. Fellaini was taking everything down on his chest, so there was no room behind. So it just took away what Jelavic's game was.
I liked Fellaini in the.
Oh, he was good, but I just mean, if you've got a way of playing that's working, and it benefits your striker, and then I mean, don't get me wrong.
Well, Cahill left, didn't he?
I absolutely loved Cahill. We left because Moyes said we don't really need you anymore.
He's 30, wasn't he, when he left?
He was coming to the end of his career.
And we got, what did we get for him, like 16 mil?
Cahill?
We got a bit of bob for him, didn't we?
Not a lot. And to Red Bull. And he got off to New York and Fellaini went there and it was wasn't as good, wasn't as successful because Fellaini was a different player. It was simple as that. So, One Vision, someone said that's the fried chicken. Give me fried chicken. Yeah, I think you're right, I think it is. I'm sure he mentions it in I Want to Ride My Bicycle as well.
I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike.
You get paid to sing. How can you not sing that song in key?
There's a lot of Queen songs that lines start with I want, isn't there?
I want to break free and I want to ride my bicycle. What's the next
other
one?
Ones than that. Have you ever seen that meme where it's someone on who wants to be a millionaire and the question is Queen, I want, and then there's the four answers are like 4 different songs with the finishing lyrics.
I mean, no, I haven't, but fair you do.
I'll send it you.
Fair play to you. Daniel, yes, One Vision. Basic 3 confirmed it as well. Matthew Bluno says Freddie Mercury was 75 on Saturday. What an absolute legend.
Wow.
He's like Freddie Mercury. Freddie Mercury is the greatest frontman of all time.
Agreed.
Come at me.
Agreed.
Absolutely. As a frontman,
Stage presence, isn't it?
Unbelievable. If you go and watch, listen, you all probably watched this, so it's irrelevant, but if you've seen the Live Aid performance, Band-Aid performance 85, Queen, and obviously if you've seen Bohemian Rhapsody, the film, they do it. Rami Malek does it to the T, exactly everything Freddie did on that performance at Wembley, he does it in the film. But that, and then a year later, Queen, I don't know whether it's the One Vision tour it might be.
He played at Wembley in 86.
He played at Wembley in 86, and he's got the iconic yellow jacket and a white thing, and he comes out with...
They played the full version of Bohemian Rhapsody, didn't they? They didn't the year before.
Absolutely.
That version has got like...
Unbelievable. His performance at Wembley in 86 is unbelievable as well. That concert's incredible.
Ball Rap from 86 at Wembley's got like billions, not billions. It's got a lot of views on
the
YouTube.
whole thing was amazing. Incredible frontman.
I want it all. I want it all. There's another one I want.
I want it all, and I want it now. It's a belter.
He just wants, doesn't he? Wants.
He wants it, and he did it. Liam Monroe, Back to the Future, E.T., Big, Flight of the Navigator, all belter 80s films.
You know the little lad from Flight of the Navigator is now in jail? Or went to jail. He robbed a bank, didn't he?
Things happen, mate. Things happen.
What a
Karate Kid. Well, I haven't watched Cobra Kai, obviously.
There's another one that's been remade.
Yeah, Will Smith.
Or a remake.
Not Will Smith, Jaden Smith.
Well, it was remade, and then now it's been sequelled.
I think he's brilliant. The Cobra Kai's brilliant.
Yeah, it's class.
Barry Dara says, all right, Ned, it's Barry, FC Aintree BVB manager.
Oh, yeah.
Caps will be on the way soon.
Yeah, he's got
top man, Baz.
Sending us some caps, some
top
caps.
Man. Last of the Corinthians, The Goonies, another belter film.
I never liked The Goonies when I was a kid. I like it now, but it's like, I had the same with Never Ending Story, and what was the one with David Bowie?
I don't like the Never Ending Story.
What was the David Bowie one? Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Films like that really scared me, and Goonies scared me a bit. When you get older, it's like you're watching, it's like a classic.
Well, Labyrinth and Never Ending Story. The best thing about Never Ending Story is Lamar singing the Never Ending Story.
Yeah. Ghostbusters, another genius film. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Honey, I Blew Up the Baby.
Yeah.
That was that one, wasn't it?
No, there is, when you think about it, the 80s, what a place. Blazing Saddles. That was the 70s, David.
Yeah. Gene Wilder.
78, wasn't it? Blazing Saddles, or 79.
Who's the other? If they put that on TV now, they'd have to cut a lot of it out.
Oh, yeah.
Or it would have to be on at like midnight on ITV.
Too many fake United fans says, did you know that Roy Jones Jr. is an Evertonian? Yes, I've heard that before. Ian Clark says, Yelovich himself said he stopped giving 100%. Yeah, I read that. Yeah. He didn't realise that he thought it was easy and he'd made it, and he lost his way a little bit. Queen, I want it all, says Steve Lamb. And I want it now. Your dad?
Joseph Taylor, Stand By Me. There's just too many, isn't there? Too many classics.
The Burbs, belter film, Steve P, 96. Derek says, Bono may give Freddie a run for his money. No. Sorry, Derek.
U2, Bono?
Yeah.
No.
I don't even like U2.
I don't really like
Bono. For me, isn't the best frontman, not a chance. No.
I like U2, but that's...
Do you?
That's a stretch. I like a few songs.
I can't have him for a sec, honestly.
I like The Edge on guitar, but Bono.
Someone simply put Amanda Holden. Absolutely. I don't even know what it was in response
to. He put Jeff Hardy as well, so I think he's talking about Blue Evertonians.
Oh, okay.
Jeff Hardy's a Blue.
I just meant Amanda Holden. Absolutely. That's all I'd say to Amanda Holden.
Okay.
Where are we?
The Shining.
Liam Monroe says, I forgot Blonde Fist. Ned won't remember that. Stay Crazy says Tony Johnson, one of the best comedy films ever made. Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder. Beverly Hills Cop. Oh my God, what a film. Have you seen Beverly Hills Cop? Eddie Murphy?
No.
Oh,
I don't think so.
I am so jealous. It's amazing.
I watched...
You've not seen Beverly Hills Cop?
I watched one the other day
Have you watched Trading Places with Eddie Murphy?
I watched one the other day where he was playing all the characters. What was it called now?
That was thingy.
And his wife keeps cheating on him.
Yeah. I've seen that one. That's not good.
Celtic Vape's got a good shout. Jagger. Got the mood like Jagger.
Still nowhere near.
I love Rolling Stones. Love him. No. David Sullivan, Robert Plant. Yeah, Led Zeppelin. No. He was brilliant, Robert Plant.
Maybe, but he's not. You're talking like they're like, you know, home nation level. Freddie Mercury was like world champion level. Lee Riding says Freddie was boss, but Michael Hutchins. Yeah, Hutchins was decent, but he wasn't. To me, he wasn't Freddie Mercury level. Beverly Hills Cop. Make sure you watch it. It's an absolutely brilliant film.
The 80s. I didn't think
that was before Axel F brought that back out.
I didn't think much of the one I watched the other day where he's playing. What was it called now?
I know, I can see it.
It was named Groupie or something.
Yeah, I can literally see it. He plays a professor and he plays this, that, and
he played a Chinese man.
Yeah, there's loads. And no. Eddie Murphy in Beverly Hills Cop. Trading Places as well with Dan Aykroyd. He's absolutely fantastic in it.
Ian Brown. Ian Brown was just hilarious, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Jim Morrison.
Liam Monroe says you can't beat Freddie.
Jim Morrison was good in the Doors.
Planes, Trains and Automobiles, National Lampoon's Vacation, Little Shop of Horrors, all incredible. Coming to America, another classic one.
My dad's favourite actor, him from Planes, Trains and Automobiles.
Steve Martin or John Candy?
Steve Martin, John Candy.
John Candy, belter.
I like Steve Martin. He's good in a.
John Candy's brilliant in Thingy as well.
There's a new one with Steve Martin and
Cool Runnings. He's brilliant in, and Home Alone, of course.
Yeah. Oh, is this? There's no one. The one on Disney Plus, and it's Steve Martin, and it's a fella who was in Father of the Bride with. I reunited him.
I mean, literally, Steve Martin is Father of the Bride.
Yeah, and he was in a film with someone from Father of the Bride, and they just got back together to do something on Disney. Can't remember.
David Sullivan says Michael Hutchins was a wannabe Jim Morrison. Correct. Fair play.
Jim Morrison.
Nightmare on Elm Street, terrifying. For Celtic Vape says Caddyshack, belter of a film. Caddyshack, seen Caddyshack?
Not heard of that one.
Belter of a film. Big Trouble, Little China, belter of a film. Some tremendous shouts here, I have to say. Absolutely tremendous shout. Okay, where are we? Paddy Ditchfield says, never mind giving a like. Why not subscribe on Patreon? An absolute bargain, and you see the top stuff you don't get to see on YouTube. Cheers, Paddy. Nice one for that little big up. Thank you very much.
Just done the transfer window review this past week. That's up there for Patreon exclusive. That was a good one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. We just done the opposition preview with Chris from Burnley.
That'll be out tomorrow. The opposition preview. Yeah.
Jake Ablett says a song Radio Gaga. All we need is Dominic Calvert-Lewin. All we need is Dom Calvert-Lewin. Dom Calvert-Lewin.
Oh, Last of the Corinthians, Rain Man. Oh, Rain Man's my favourite Tom Cruise film. No. But only because I love
it's a great
Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah,
well.
It's brilliant, but there's all things like Thingy as well with Tom Cruise. Not A Few Good Men, the other one.
Mission Impossible.
4th of July and all that, but he was brilliant. But no.
He was good in the Alien film.
Minority Report.
No, there was a BBC War of the Worlds.
Oh,
yeah, I like that.
Astro
film.
says the fried chicken bit is the end of One Vision. Yes, cheers, Astro.
Norbit, that's it. Norbit,
that's it. Yeah, plays about 8 characters.
Yeah, weird.
No, I was thinking Dilbert, and I was thinking, no, it's not Dilbert.
I don't know why I thought
Norbit. Yeah,
it's not a name.
Astro says Monster Squad, Boss 80s flick. Also Iron Eagle and The Last Starfighter.
Iron Eagle.
Graham Hines says Blues Brothers. Was Blues Brothers 80s? I thought it was late 70s.
Earlier than that, Blues Brothers, wasn't it?
I thought so.
I'm a soulful man.
Number 4 is When We Were Young by Adele. Oh yeah, When We Were Young.
I still don't know what AJ's is from the second one before.
Ned got the first one right. The second one was Gold Dust Woman.
Oh,
another wrong from your favourite
That's off
album.
Rumours, Stevie Nicks.
Well said, AJ. You've destroyed it. Alexander Hofflet, what a name, says, hi lads, non-football related question. Have any of you got any advice for getting through the day in a boring job?
I've never had a boring job. So when I'm gigging on a weekend, I just think about what.
Stop it, then get gigging on a weekend.
When I'm singing, I just think about the lyrics from the next song, because then sometimes I start singing the lyrics.
You're not giving them advice for getting through a boring day. You're just telling them that you think of the next song.
Sometimes when you're shattered and you've got to sing for 2 hours, it feels like it goes on forever, especially when it really got sore throat. For a long, boring day.
think of the things you want to do when you get home. You're gonna do. Plan your day in your head.
Watch a film in your head.
Think about what you're doing. You got to look when you're in a job that is boring. I've had a few, mate. Is that you've got to think of the positive stuff that you want to do. So it's like if you're doing something in the night, or think of things you enjoy doing and try to concentrate on that. It's that difficult because you should really be like living in the moment. But when you're in a job that you find boring, how do you live in the moment there?
Astro's not got a boring job. Look what he just sent me. After you mentioned Top Gun.
Yeah, Astro's got
Astro at work.
Astro's got a boss job, mate. He literally looks like Tom Cruise there.
He is the man, isn't he?
Look at that behind him. Astro is the man. He's a top man. Top gun.
I want to be Astro when I get older.
He's not Maverick. I don't think I think I'm more like Maverick, but I reckon Astro would be. Would Astro be Goose? He was cool, Goose.
Goose died?
No, I know without him dying, I mean. Because he's not Iceman. He's not. Yeah, Val Kilmer's Iceman, isn't he?
Iceman, you have to have the body to be Iceman, don't you?
What are you saying about Astro's body?
Astro always got the coolest body. When I get older, I want to be Astro.
Anyway, Keith Powell says, did you see that after being a Fenerbahce for 8 months, Ozil wants to move because he's not happy? What is it with these multi-million pound players these days? Just obscene. He's played 10 games for them too. Scandalous, Keith, but what can you do? It's the world we live in, footballers.
There's some absolute
Jay Fair and I want it all. Keith Powell says, isn't Jodie Comer's dad? Yeah, Jimmy Comer is the physio, whatever. Well, not not the physio, but he's the masseuse and he does other stuff on the physical side, yes. Michael Wood says, Lethal Weapon, the greatest Christmas movie of all time. It isn't, is it? Die Hard's not a Christmas film, Michael, so you've let yourself down there. But Lethal Weapon was the 80s as well. Die Hard is a cracking film that was released in February or March, so yeah, not a Christmas film, but a good film.
Michael RAF on the super chat, thank you very much, Michael. He says, hi lads, hope you are both well. It will be my first time at Goodison Park on Monday for 5 years, can't wait.
Yes, Michael.
It's going to be great.
Been busy working. It's right, Michael.
My first one since before the lockdown, so I didn't go to Southampton.
Yeah.
So also cannot wait.
Yeah. Bit of belter, mate.
Terry Fowler and Miracle Werewolf in London. Have I missed that? That's what I used to love. I used to be obsessed with
Werewolf in London.
Like Van Helsing, Miracle Werewolf in Paris, and obviously Bad Moon, and then obviously the best Werewolf in London. Absolutely unbelievable.
Graham Hines said 1980. Blues Brothers came out. I thought it was earlier than that. I thought it was about 79, 80, 79, 78, but it was 80. Fair play.
Big Tom Hanks.
Eric Nielsen says, I grew up in the town where they filmed Stand By Me. The film's just had its 35th anniversary last month. Great film. Gareth Hughes says, roasting in work today, but you rather always be too warm, or always be too cold?
Too cold. Because I sleep better when I'm cold. Too warm.
What about being too cold, though?
You can warm yourself up.
Can't you, if you're too cold?
Cooling yourself down is hard.
It's harder.
If I'm too cold, can I put clothes on?
I don't know. It's a tough one. I'm not answering.
I need more information.
Astro says I'm defo more Goose than Maverick. Me. See, I've met Astro. You've just had videos sent from him. I've met Astro and he is more Goose. Just like a nice fella.
He is sound.
Maverick's got a little bit of an edge to him.
Astro is as sound as a pound.
Or as sound as a couple of dollars. There you go. Work that out for yourself, Ned. Lieutenant Colonel says, always only ever do what you love. Simples. If you're in a job you find boring, clearly it's an unwise choice. No, listen.
People need to
that
get by,
is really
though,
good. It's a great shout and all that. And you're right. Try to do something you love. This is what I'm preaching to my children at the moment. But sometimes needs must, don't they? And therefore a job is a job and you need to work. And if you've got a mortgage to pay, or you've got, might simply be season ticket that you want to buy, or you've got in a relationship and you want to do nice things, you've got to work. Simple as that. But ideally, you would only really do stuff you enjoyed.
Absolutely.
But it's difficult sometimes.
Andrew John Barrow says, "Who's Astro?" Oh, that's when people say, "Why should I join Patreon?" I'm just going to start saying, "Astro." That is why you should join Patreon. Just on the fan reactions. Astro always sends in his fan reactions.
Astro's boss.
Unbelievable.
If you don't know, you don't know. But fair play to you for asking. Okay. Scintillating Skills says, what order would you put Lennon, Walcott and Townsend in for Everton? The battle of the English right wingers 5 years past their prime.
How would we rank them? Who were they? Lennon, Walcott, Townsend. Walcott and Townsend in the prime, goal scorers, aren't they? Walcott can play striker. He did for Arsenal, and he was really good.
But he's talking about playing for Everton. Don't talk about what he did at Arsenal. So what they... Well, at the moment, I'd say...
Yeah, Townsend, but not seen enough of him.
Yeah, I'd say Townsend at the moment, because I just think he's a harder worker. But then Theo got some goals for us.
I liked Lennon.
Was decent. He
left it on the pitch, didn't he?
He'd always give you everything, Lennon. He just wasn't consistent.
But his mental health at the time wasn't.
Yeah, but I'm sure about his football ability is that he didn't score enough goals for me.
John Smith says, "What's some Scouse slang?" Am I allowed to be in this conversation? Lid.
What?
John Smith says, "What's some Scouse slang?"
Scouse slang for what? Josh says Indiana Jones films with Bosch. Absolutely. The Shining, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Blade Runner. Yeah. Jingle All the Way was one of my favourites at Crimbo, says Josh McCann. Jingle All the Way is Bosch.
I have to get a, what was he called? I have to get an action man.
I mean, he was an action man.
I have to get an action figure.
It's almost like Arnie is sat on the couch with me. Once Upon a Time in America, says Kevin.
I've not watched that one, I don't think.
Amanda Holden gets stuck in people's heads. Yeah.
Can't get her out of my head.
Michael says, I've just been stuck in Cyprus for 6 months. What is this heat you're all talking about? It's warm today, but I guess when you've been in Cyprus for 6 months, it's not quite the same as the heat. Yeah. Patrick Morgan says, shout out to Paddy. Paddy what?
Paddy.
Who? Don't. I want to know which Paddy. General Scouse slang for everyday use.
You're right, Lid.
Lid, yeah?
You're right, Lid.
The lad, Lid.
Sapo. Sapling.
Sapo.
Sapo.
Never heard any Scouser say Sapo.
Sapling, you like
Sapling. Sapo.
Sapo.
Never heard it.
What's Sapo? I don't know from the tellings.
Go on. It's a lot of the Lid's favourite shout at the moment. Go on. Go on.
You lizards.
What do you mean? Go on where? Go on what? Go on. Go on.
Go ahead, lad. Go ahead, lad. Go ahead, Lid. Go ahead, Lid. I can't comment because I'm not Scouser.
I'm moving on. Turbo Man, the action figure was called. Nice one, Danny. Petra says Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Basic Trig says, when did Arnie have a stroke?
What does it is? It might be a Scout slang, or it is. But my granddad used to always call me Rustus or Rastus, as a young lad. Right, Rastus. What does that mean?
No clue. Never heard it. Your granddad is.
He's from Bootle, so.
Well, you say that. Bootle Sefton.
I mean, he is.
Sefton, not really a Scouser.
Purple bin, innit?
Has he got a purple bin?
He lives in St Helens now, doesn't he?
So he hasn't got a purple bin now. Astro says Baz is like Maverick with the skills. No question. Ped is Iceman, 100%. Ned is Slider. Yeah. Cam is Hollywood or Wolfman. And Blainsy is Viper. Blainsy defo is Viper. Cam, Hollywood. Wolfman, I reckon Cam is. So me and you ride together then, Astro, yeah? Keith says, good job, Peds on holiday as the government announces increase in tax and NHS plans. Feel a screaming session coming in from him and Sam. Yeah, I think so. Predator, class film. Predator is a class film.
I said that before, yeah. Great film.
Graham Hines says, if work is boring, listening to music always gets me through the day.
Sometimes you're not allowed,
and
though,
I was going to say,
Sometimes
some jobs you can't allow, you're not allowed to listen to music, so it's even worse. But yeah, it's a tough one, because if you know, there's not what you can do. Ross says, Baz, you sure your boy's not from Wigan and not St Helens, wrapped up in that wool voice?
Somewhat.
Who, Ned? Yeah, he's not from St Helens. These blags he is.
I think Finnegan thought I was from Wigan the other week. She said, oh, where are you from?
Yes, he did think you were from Wigan.
And I was
Meg Finnegan.
Meg Finnegan.
Finnegan thought I was from. Yeah. You're defo.
I'm not from Wigan.
Defo from Wigan.
But every time I'm in. That's funny because every time I'm in Burnley or
this
somewhere,
is nonsense, though. This is nonsense.
Ask me dad. Someone said in front of my dad the other week.
I'm not having that when you go and play in Burnley.
And then someone
says, "Are you a Scouser?"
Some bake-up thought I was a Scouser. I say, I'm not a Scouser.
I'm not having it. I'm not having it. Then they're idiots.
But then they always say, "Oh, you've got that Scouse twang, haven't you?" And I said,
"No."
To you, maybe. And then I was with my mum in Bury a few weeks ago in a place called Blind Tiger, and she said, "Where are you from?" I said, "St Helens," and she said, "Oh, a Scouser." I said, "No, St Helens isn't in Liverpool." She said, "Oh, you got that Scouse twang though." I was like, "No, no," and don't let a Scouser say that.
Did you ask her to switch your hearing aid on? Dave Sullivan says, "What's the funniest line in the film?" For me, it has to be, "This is biggest dickus." Biggest dickus and incontinentia. Oh my, buttocks is brilliant in The Life of Brian. Absolutely incredible.
The in-between films crap me up no matter time how much I watch them.
Yeah. John says, I've heard scran from a Scouser, but not sure what it means. Means food.
Scran. Goes for some
scran. Having a scran.
Nelson Scrandella. Go for some Alexis Scranches. Danny's Scranny Welbeck. Not heard them ones.
What are you talking about?
Never mind. But you put Scran into names.
Oh, is that what you were doing? I would never have guessed, honest. I've just never ever heard a Scouser ever,
a thing in those youngsters.
Ever say any of that stuff.
Do you say spoons? Weatherspoons, you call it spoons?
I don't go to Weatherspoons.
Yeah, but if you went to Weatherspoons...
Well, people do call it spoons, yeah, but that's literally... That isn't Scouse, that's just shortening a word.
I know some people call it weathers, which is criminal.
Nora says, hello from Australia. Hello, or good day. The show must go on. Martin D said was the last single released before Freddie died.
The show must go on. No,
it wasn't.
That was well
that
early.
That show must go on was some thingy.
He died in
1991, I think.
91, 92, didn't he? Yeah.
Days of Our Lives literally came out 3 days before he died, or a week before he died, and he was so skinny on it, so thin. Show must go on. Isn't that from? Was that from Highlander? I know Who Wants to Live Forever was from Highlander.
Who wants to live forever?
No.
My favourite, you know what my favourite Queen song is?
Oh, hang on, no, he can't. He must have died in 93. Sang Barcelona for the 92 Barcelona with Maria Calvert-Lewin or whatever her name is. But
93, 94.
93 was when, I'll tell you when it was, because I was working as a joiner. But it was 93, I think. Either November 92 or it was 93 when he died. But Days of Our Lives was the last song he ever released before he died. He died, oh no, 91 he did die. 91. But he sang Barcelona theme tune with Maria Thingy for the Olympics in 92.
Liam Traynor says he's from St Helens and he plays for Pilks Rugby League. And he said they always got called Scousers. Probably just like when they went to London Broncos.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Yeah, you see, I know what you're saying, because I've just had a look at like when these reckon the songs, the show must go on, but that was from Innuendo album, wasn't it? Which is already there.
Can you find out what year it was? 93? Was
91 he died.
91.
Yeah.
The pastime says, have you seen that yellow and red Liverpool away kit? Probably the worst
Seen it today, yeah.
It does look like a cleaning up cloth, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Some people might like it. Some people don't like Everton kits. I like them. Steve Murphy, 91, yeah. John Smith, anyone from Toffee TV had aspirations of being a footballer? Well, obviously Baz, because he was semi-pro, weren't you?
In the end, yeah. Played at Everton, played at Burnley.
Movie Worms says, how many games till Rondon outscores Keane's all-time tally? I'll say 5 appearances. In all competitions, I suppose he probably will play against QPR, so hopefully he can bag a couple up there. Keane in all competitions, he got 2 in his first season. He got 1 last season. He caught a penalty, didn't he? In the
got
cup.
2 last year.
2 was that?
Salford and Fleetwood away.
Fleetwood away.
He's got 4 goals in 40 games.
Should have had 5.
Well, he did. He scored the other week at Huddersfield. It was not numbered, to be fair. He was onside.
Yeah, 5 appearances. I suppose isn't a bad shout.
Well, so he'll get 5 goals in 5 games.
He reckons he'll beat Keane's tally in 5 games. That'll be a good.
I hope. Listen, if you're right, I'll be absolutely made up, but I can't see that. I think, but he could do well. Astro says, I'll be your wingman every day of the week and twice on a Sunday. Me and you, Astro, smashing it. Michael says, Baz, I live in West Cumbria. When we go to Newcastle, people ask us if we're Scouts. Happens the other way around too. People are mad, aren't they? People are mad. Berserk. Absolutely berserk. Right, last one. Gray is looking like a sound buy. Definitely is. Baz, where did you play? Centre forward, mate. Little quick striker. We were happened to Gomez going to Benfica on loan. He was never going. They tried to buy him, but it was too early. Too early because I've read something. It was the offer was 2 million, I think, or something. And Everton
they turned around and they said, "I don't think you got the facilities for that."
Yeah,
big man.
When they offered the jag price for him. Killer Queen says Michael Gunderson is my favourite Queen song. Yeah, Killer Queen's incredible
Hammer to
song.
Fall's my favourite
Which
song. Hammer to Fall.
Hammer to Fall's a great song. Really
we
is.
don't waste no time at all. We're still waiting for the hammer to fall.
Belter. Right, listen, thank you very, very much for joining us today. Subscribe if you haven't. Give this stream a like. We would really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Why not join us on Patreon? Why not? Dosbick has just come in and looks a sad face. Said, I'm late. I had Russian class. At least you've been learning something, Dosbick. You can watch this again, though, if you've missed it. Can't you? You can just play it. Once this stream ends, you can play it.
Come and join us tomorrow on Patreon. We'll be live again tomorrow.
The which?
Don't hear me, Mal. We'll be live again on Patreon.
Have you been on things in our comments here? Too many fake United fans. I always have Baz in my back pocket. Never, no one ever had me in the pocket, mate. Goals. That was me. Baz goals. Which is what Ronnie Goodless called me because he played the staff team at Everton with me.
You played with Ronnie Goodless?
Baz goal. Yeah, on a Friday. So there you go. Thank you very, very much for joining us. We do appreciate it. If you want more of this stuff daily, then why not join us over on Patreon? Otherwise, have a fantastic night. Take it easy. Stay cool. Drink loads of water. And we will see you soon. Bye.
See you later.